Hey guys, welcome back to Maverick Watch Reviews. Now the watch we have today is kind of a game changer for a lot of different reasons, and I'm going to explain those in the review, but this is simply a fascinating watch. All right, today we've got the Swatch Irony Sistem51 Tux 30-meter automatic watch, and this is model number YIS4050G. And as usual, we're going to open this thing up, look at all the features and functions, check out the build quality, and then I'll let you know what I think of this very interesting watch from the Swatch group. Also, make sure you check out my Amazon shopping channel for all of my favorite watches that I've reviewed on this channel, and be sure to visit my Teespring merch store and pick yourself up a t-shirt or a mug. I'll make sure to put both of those links in the description field for you. All right, here you go. First of all, I love Swatch packaging for a couple different reasons. One, it just looks cool. And two, it's very functional. You got a nice little acrylic case here. Push the little button, there you go. The watch is on a really kind of neat plastic watch pillow. It's got these two arms that are kind of springy, so it really keeps the watch situated on the watch pillow. It's not really a pillow, but watch stand really nicely. I mean, it's just really well thought out packaging, and I love this, this packaging from Swatch. Now at the bottom here, you have got some paperwork. Looks like you got the warranty card, and right there, and the manual in 3 bajillion different languages. There you go. All right, now this is interesting, but this is not the most interesting thing about this watch. And I'm gonna explain all this to you here in just a minute. Let's go ahead and get all the basic specs out of the way, and then we will go very in depth with this thing, because there's a lot to talk about, honestly. This is kind of a game changer, man. All right, so let's get all this packaging out of the way. Let's talk about this thing. All right, let's talk about the specs first. You're looking at a 42 millimeter case. It's 14 millimeters thick. It's 50 millimeters lug to lug. It's on a 20 millimeter bracelet. You've got acrylic crystals front and back. It's water resistant to 30 meters, which is 99 feet. The movement is the Swatch C10111. Actually, it's an ETA movement because Swatch owns ETA. It's got a whopping power reserve of 90 hours. Yes, I said that correct. I'll even put it on the screen. 90 hours. Really, really cool. It is windable, and it winds anti-clockwise. It is not hackable. I think the earlier versions were, but this one isn't. You've got the date over there at 3 o'clock. You've got a non-screw down crown over there at 3 o'clock. Couldn't find out what the lume is. I don't even know if it's super luminova or not. And it does have a fixed bezel. So this is a very, very interesting watch. Let's give you a little bit of history. First of all, Swatch stands for second watch. And they came out back in 1983 to compete with all the really cheap Japanese quartz watches that were flooding the market back then. So Swatch Group has been around for a long time. Now, incidentally, they're the biggest watch company in the world, and they own brands like Omega, Breguet, Longines, Hamilton, Tissot, and a lot more. So they're the biggest player out there in the watch world by far. And also they own ETA, which makes all those movements for tons of other different Swiss watch companies. So first of all, it feels like a Swiss-made watch. It looks like a Swiss-made watch. It's got a substantial weight to it. It feels like a Swiss-made watch when you actually just hold it in your hand. Now, the Sistem51 movement, that came out back in Europe back in 2013, and they were first sold here in America in 2016. So this isn't something that's brand new. It's semi-new since it's been sold in America since only 2016, but it's semi-new. Now, the thing that's really interesting about this movement is the fact that it's made of only 51 parts, hence the name Sistem51, and it is completely machine-made. There is no human intervention with the movement on this watch. It's absolutely fascinating. I'm going to show you the watch, the case back here in just a second, and show you a little bit more, but it's completely robotically made. There's no human intervention whatsoever. And another cool thing, besides the 90-hour power reserve, which is still really hard to believe, but it's true, it's almost as accurate as like a Rolex COSC certified watch. Now, those regulations require that it's accurate to -4 or +6 seconds, and this Swatch is actually accurate to ±7 seconds a day. So not only is it incredibly cheap, and we'll talk about that price a little bit later as well, it's almost as accurate as a COSC certified watch, which is just insane. Now, I think that accuracy is due to the fact that they actually use a laser to shave off little pieces of mass on the balance wheel. So that's how they can actually adjust this watch. It's just, it's insane. It's really, really cool. And I can't believe that they also use a plastic pallet fork and escape wheel. They are plastic, guys. It's really, really cool. Now, again, like I said, this watch is very heavy and substantial feeling. The polishing is excellent. I mean, this is really a very well-made watch for what you get. Me personally, I'm not a big two-tone guy. I just never have been. But it's a very legible watch. I love that kind of wave pattern dial combined with the, looks like it's kind of like a sunburst there on the dial. It's a good-looking watch. Again, that's not my personal preference with the two-tone, but it's really cool. It's very legible. Again, it's just really highly polished everywhere you look. The links, even, the buckle, everything, the sides of the links, everything. Really, really highly polished watch. I like the hands. They're pretty simple second wheel, nice date window with black numerals on a white background. They maybe could have put a little, I'm a big fan of putting like frames around date windows. That's just me. But minimal writing on the dial. You've got Swatch up there, Swiss. And this is a Swiss-made watch, 100%, by the way. And it doesn't say Swiss-made at the bottom, which I'm kind of curious, but it actually says Swiss-made on the box. See, right there, Swiss-made. Interesting. But they don't say it on the watch. I'm not quite sure why. But anyway, then you see the word automatic right above the 6 o'clock index. It looks like the indexes are applied somewhat. I think that kind of gold bezel around each index is applied, but I think the actual lume is screen printed possibly on the dial. It doesn't make a difference to me. And first of all, the lume is not fantastic. So that's one thing I'm really, really disappointed with is the lume. But overall, a really good looking dial. You're going to think this is a much more expensive watch from a distance, or unless you know what Swatch watches look like. This was kind of the most ordinary looking design that I could find. Swatches are really odd. They're oddly designed. I wouldn't say they're ugly. They're just very, very different. Each watch is completely different from the next watch. And they have one version of this that I would love to get my hands on. I'll go ahead and put that up on the left-hand side of the screen. That's the Flieger version. What a fantastic looking watch. And it's got a rubber strap and, of course, a stainless steel. It's part of the Irony series, so it has a stainless steel case. But that is just a fantastic looking watch. But I think it's gone up to like $300 now. So it's a little bit more than I want to spend on a Swatch. But anyway, so everything else is pretty good about the watch. Let's go ahead and look at the Caseback. All right. Now you got your stamped metal. That's kind of, to be expected in a watch in this price range. And look at the rotor. Now the weird thing, I wouldn't say weird, the really interesting thing with this rotor is if you barely move this watch, that rotor spins like you've been shaking it for 5 minutes. It spins a long time over just the slightest movement of your wrist. Trying to get it to do it. Look at that thing just spins like crazy, man. Anyway, now that's an acrylic rotor. It's weighted on the underside of that kind of gray and like darker gray round rotor. Just really, really interesting, man. Now they say the whole movement is held together by that one central rotor screw. There's a guy in the UK that kind of broke one of these down and says that's not technically true, but it just looks really cool. Look at you just barely move it and that rotor spins like crazy. I guess that's probably due to the fact they can get, pretty accurate measurements with the machines that build these watches or build these movements. It's just nuts how it does that. Anyway, there you go. What else? Now, the older versions of these were all plastic and they were not serviceable because they were hermetically sealed. Now, because these are stainless steel, you can actually service these watches. And both of these crystals are not sapphire. They're just acrylic front and back. But now you can service these Irony series. Irony basically means the metal versions. Iron, get it? Irony. You can service these because you have a metal case and you can just pop off that plastic crystal on the back. So it was a really good improvement that Swatch made with these watches. Even though these are inexpensive, you still, if you want to, try to be able to service it, you don't want to throw away your money. You want to send it back to Swatch and see if they can service this. Now, the only drawback with these, Swatch uses the 4-tang system here for your straps. So you can only use Swatch straps on a Swatch watch. You know, it doesn't have a typical spring bar system. As you can see, it's got 4 tangs there, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got to use Swatch straps or bracelets, and you can't use anything else. Now, that might be a deal killer for a lot of people. To me, not a big deal. They've got tons and tons of different straps and bracelets. So you're definitely going to be able to find something you want. But just, you know, the fact that you can't use any type of strap that you want, like you couldn't use a NATO on this if you wanted to, it's kind of a bummer, but not a deal killer for me. So now this is really meant to deal and compete with the Seiko 5s. Now, you know, whether you get a Seiko 5 or this, that's really kind of your, you know, personal preference. They're both kind of meant to be an entry level into the automatic world. But the thing is, this is a Swiss-made automatic watch. And here you go. The price for these starts at about $150 for a Swiss-made automatic. I think that's just absolutely insane. It really is a game changer, and I know Swatch is very proud of what they've accomplished. I think they're just incredibly cool watches. Just looking at that rotor, and if you just, you know, slightly kind of move the case, that rotor spins for like a second or two. It's just nuts. I can't get it to do it now. There you go. Oh man, it's just so cool how it does that. And the fact that the movement is completely automated. No human hands touch the movement in this watch when it's being made. They got some soldering joints that they're using. And another thing is really cool is that plastic pallet fork and escape wheel. I mean, who does that in a movement? So anyway, if you want to get one of these, head on over to Amazon. I'll put a link in there if you want to get one of these. Of course, you can also go over to Swatch's website and check them out. There's tons of different models. And let me go try this thing on real quick. Man, really comfortable. God, that is a comfortable watch. Really nice. Good looking watch too. Now let's go ahead and get a Lume shot. You're going to be disappointed. I know I was. Let's go ahead and kill the monitor. And let's kill the overhead studio light. Get out the UV. Now I can't get it, you know, super dark in here today. It's probably like mid-afternoon, so anyway. But still, the Lume sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you. Lume is pretty bad. It doesn't last. Oh, golly, is it already faded? Holy crap. Yeah, holy crap. Let me try this again. That can't be right. That Lume already faded? Are you kidding me? Let's try this again. There you go. What counted? 2 or 3, 1. Yep, and it's gone. Wow. That might be the worst Lume of any watch I've ever reviewed, possibly. Well, maybe not the worst, but it's up there. All right, let's go ahead and cut the studio light back on. Let's cut the monitor. Let's go ahead and finish up this review. And guys, I'm really interested to see what you think of this watch. Like I said, they've been out for a long time. Well, you know, 6 years, but they've only been in the US for about 3 years. The biggest thing about this watch is the fact that movement is 100% machine made, robotically made, which is really cool. And to get that accuracy and to get that power reserve, 90 hours is absolutely nuts. And like I said, I'll make sure to put a link in the description field so you can go over to Amazon and get one of these for, I think this one's either 150 or 160s. So I'll go ahead and put that in the description field. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content, and make sure you click on that notification bell. I really, really would appreciate it. And guys, that's been about it for this one. I would go out there and get one. I might even get another one of these, man. See if I can try to find that Flieger model that's just really, really good looking. So anyway, guys, this has been the Swatch Irony Sistem51 Tux 30-meter automatic. And this has been model number YIS4050G. And until the next review, I've got something fantastic coming up here in a couple weeks that I think you're really, really going to like. And until then, I will see y'all later. Take care. Bye-bye.